Jack Manifold. Yes, this guy. You probably haven't heard much about him and his lore on the Dream SMP, but I think that very soon he will play a big part in the lore. Not only he took over the TommyInnit hotel for a bit, but he was also one of the first people to join L'Manberg and is now at a very powerful position in Snowchester. But before we go further into the video, I just want to say I'm trying to get to 1.5k by the end of the month, and this is how much I have right now. So if you could, make sure to subscribe. Anyway, back to the video. So in case you don't know who Jack Manifold is, from what I've found, Jack Manifold met Tubbo and Tommy on Discord or Reddit. It's one of those. And very quickly he became very close friends with them, and because of that relationship, he joined the Dream SMP quite early on actually, on the 1st of August 2020. And he did take part in a lot of lore back then, when it comes to L'Manberg and stuff like that. But after a while, he left the internet for a few months because of apparently mental reasons, and I'm sure there's other stuff as well. But yeah, the point is he left the internet and streaming for a few months. Then he came back for the Manberg War, where L'Manberg got obviously blown up by Wilbur. And after that, he's been active on the internet and the Dream SMP quite a lot, but he hasn't really been part of the lore. And this is soon going to change, and a big reason for that is because he's very powerful in Snowchester. If you don't know what Snowchester is, it's basically this new nation that hasn't really done anything too much apart from, well, I say apart from, obviously they sent a nuke, so I guess it's a big thing, but they haven't really been involved in like wars and stuff like that. But yeah, if I was to like summarize who Jack Manifold's character is, I would say that he's like the bad guy from Phineas and Ferb. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but in a second I'm gonna explain his kind of villain arc and how he's like trying to be this horrible villain basically, but he's kind of failing. And I do think that's deliberate, by the way. I don't think he's just bad at acting or anything. And a big reason why he isn't this like great big villain is because Tommy thinks he's, you know, a nobody. And there's a few reasons for that. One, obviously he's kind of like a slave for his hotel, because Jack isn't really gaining from the hotel and it's just kind of Tommy. So that's why Tommy doesn't really think of Jack as like a big part of the hotel basically. And also, coming back to when he was in L'Manberg, he was just a normal citizen. He didn't have any power or anything like that. And I think because of that, maybe Tommy thinks that, you know, he's this innocent person, he's not going to do much, and, you know, just a citizen. But we all know that's not true, because he already tried to kill Tommy with the nukes, actually with Niki, who is also part of the syndicate now. But yeah, obviously Jack tried to kill Tommy with the nuke and he failed. And again, it kind of shows that he wants to be this great villain, but he's already failed even though he had a nuke. And I also feel like he's been left out, or he feels like he's being left out, because actually when Tommy died, you would think that, you know, he would be super happy that he died because he obviously hates Tommy, but actually he was quite sad, but not for the same reasons why maybe Tubbo was sad and stuff like that. He was sad because he wanted to be the one who was to take Tommy's final life, which now that he's revived, I think he's got his motivation back to kill him again. But obviously when Tommy was gone and because he was dead, Jack Manifold took over the big Innit hotel, and we saw that when Tommy came back, he wasn't very happy with it and he just, you know, claimed the hotel back, which actually pissed off Jack, because obviously he worked quite hard when Tommy was dead, and all that work kind of being taken away from him obviously isn't going to make him happy, and it will obviously motivate him to hate Tommy even more than he already does. So yeah, to summarize his relationship with Tommy, Tommy kind of likes him, not like on a friend way, but like he doesn't think that he's going to do much, whereas on the other hand, Jack actually hates Tommy with its guts, and Tommy could possibly be the person or the thing that Jack hates the most on the Dream SMP, obviously canonically. Whereas for other people, it's something more like the egg, which, you know, corrupts people and stuff like that. And the thing is, with Jack, I can't really tell if he's against the egg or for the egg. Well, I guess you can say that he's against it right now, but there's a big possibility that he's gonna get corrupted. Let me elaborate. So currently, we know that he doesn't like it. From what I've seen, he has been destroying the vines and kind of going against the eggpire, you know, the people in it, and sort of the egg itself. But at the same time, obviously he's a villain, so since the egg is also the villain, it would make sense if they sort of teamed up on Tommy, since obviously the eggpire doesn't like Tommy at all. evil. But then on the other hand, Jack is in this really weird position in the storyline because he's friends with people in the syndicate, but then he's also evil, so the syndicate doesn't really like that. He's also friends with Tubbo and Ranboo, who are friends with Tommy, but obviously Jack doesn't like Tommy. So he's in a really weird space in the storyline. And that's why I can't really predict if he will join the eggpire or not. But looking back on past events of Jack Manifold, he does like to go solo. And an example of this is when L'Manberg fell, he actually created his own nation, I guess you can say, called Manifold Land. Now it was just him in the nation and his house. But yeah, he does like to tend to go solo on a lot of things. But he's definitely not a solo when it comes to Snowchester. And from what we know, the Snowchester doesn't like the egg, as obviously Foolish is in it and he doesn't like the egg or the eggpire. And we don't really know about Tubbo. But let's talk more about Snowchester and Jack Manifold's place in Snowchester. Well, the reason why Jack Manifold likes being part of Snowchester is because obviously he's in a powerful position. Him and Tubbo are both leaders of Snowchester, and they both together decide what's going to happen with Snowchester and the nukes. So as I said earlier in the video, obviously Jack used the nukes to try to kill Tommy with Niki, meaning Niki and Jack are sort of evil together in a sort of partnership. And because Niki is part of the syndicate, will Jack join the syndicate? I mean, it's a good question, it's quite possible, and he would fit into the syndicate quite well, since they all have grudges against Tommy and Dream. Now you might be wondering, why am I talking about the syndicate if I'm supposed to be talking about Snowchester and Jack's involvement in Snowchester? Well, I thought of this insane theory, which is just a theory, but what if Jack was a spy for the syndicate in Snowchester? Because one, the syndicate does want to have an update on Snowchester, obviously, because they have nukes, and Jack can provide them with the information because, well, he's the leader in Snowchester. I don't know, it's just kind of theory, but it is quite possible, and I feel like it's very unpredictable, which is the type of thing that Wilbur tries to put into script when he's writing the storyline for the Dream SMP. Okay, so we talked about the egg, we talked about Snowchester. Let's now go more in depth and zoom in on the Innit hotel and the possible storylines that could come from the hotel, because the hotel will probably be a big part of the storyline going forward. Well, we obviously know that he took over it when Tommy was dead, and when Tommy came back, he had to give it back to Tommy, and he was basically forced to because he was held at gunpoint by Sam, or Sam Nuck. And he's obviously quite mad about that because he worked hard when Tommy was gone. He got all the resources, he got many customers, and now he's quite sad that he has to just give it away or give it back to Tommy. So that got me thinking, because obviously he can't just get it back again unless he kills Tommy, which probably won't happen. So he will probably want revenge. Now listen, he has a nuke, and he could threaten Tommy to launch the nuke into the hotel. Now, to be honest, I don't see this happening, but he can always threaten people with the nuke. And I don't think Tommy would be very happy about that, so he would probably just do whatever Jack told him to do, whether it's giving Jack a bunch of diamonds or whatever. And to be honest, I do feel for Jack because he obviously feels very powerless, because I mean, he kind of is powerless. He can't do anything about the fact that Tommy just took over the hotel again, and he can just do whatever he wants with it. Okay, so how does Jack feel towards other characters? Is he friends with any other characters? Is he enemies with any other characters? Well, let's find out. And let's start off with a very important one, who is Dream. Jack doesn't like Dream. His relationship with Dream is quite negative, and the main reason for that is because he believes that Dream is the biggest reason for the conflicts on the SMP. And I mean, he's not wrong. Basically, every big war has been between Tommy and Dream, and obviously Dream had the bunker and everything. So yeah, Dream is very conflict centered, I guess you can say. Like, he likes conflict, he likes being in control of people and things like that. What about Ranboo? Arguably even more important than Dream in the storyline. Well, actually, he's quite good friends with Ranboo, even though they have their competition with the Innit hotel and Tubbo's and Ranboo's hotel. They're just good friends. I mean, they haven't had really any bad encounters or conflicts, so yeah, they're just really good friends basically. So I would say they're either neutral or positive, probably leaning towards positive. How about Technoblade? Obviously, if he wanted to join the syndicate, he would probably want to or at least not have any beef with Technoblade. And I would say it's neutral, but it's also leaning towards negative. Now, to be fair, what I'm about to say is kind of just banter, but I mean, in terms of the storyline, it could be quite important, and that's that during the Doomsday event, or the Doomsday War, Jack was actually targeting Techno a lot and having, quote, scraps with him. Again, this could have just been some banter, just that stream, and it wasn't anything serious in terms of the lore, but from the encounters that we've seen with Techno and Jack, they haven't been very positive. So I would say they're either neutral or negative, although it's probably leaning towards neutral. And what about Tubbo? Obviously, just like with Ranboo, he's very good friends with them. I mean, if you're good friends with Ranboo, you're probably good friends with Tubbo as well, since they spend most of their time together on the SMP, at least these days, since, you know, they're married. But obviously with Tubbo, Jack is also in Snowchester, and obviously Tubbo and Jack are the two leaders of Snowchester. And obviously IRL, Jack and Tubbo stream together quite a lot on GeoGuessr and CSGO, so yeah, they're obviously good friends. Okay, so it's now this time of the video where I talk about some theories. So as I always say, everything I'm about to say is just a theory. I'm not saying it's going to happen 100%, so I don't want to see no comments saying in a few months, oh wow, you were wrong and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So theory number 1, I think that he will use the nuke. Whether it's going to be on Tommy, whether it's going to be on the prison, I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's probably going to use the nuke to do some evil. Now, to be completely honest, I feel like because Tommy doesn't want Dream to escape, what if Jack Manifold nuked the prison? I think that would be pretty cool, and it would be a way of Dream getting out of prison, which eventually he will have to do anyway. So I guess he might as well come out with a bang. The second theory I have is that he will probably want some kind of revenge from Tommy, because obviously Tommy took over the hotel, and whether that revenge is by killing him or sending a nuke over to him, whatever the revenge is, it's probably going to happen at some point. We just don't really know what type of revenge and what exactly he would do to get the revenge. And number 3, he will get something that will make him super powerful. Now, we know that he's friends with Foolish, and this is purely speculation. It's kind of just coming out of my mouth, but obviously Foolish and Jack are good friends, and the theory is that Foolish can revive people, and he has the revival book apparently. So what if Jack got the revival book, making him extremely powerful? Like, he could revive Wilbur, he could revive Schlatt, which again, Tommy doesn't want to happen, and that could also be a form of revenge, reviving Wilbur or Schlatt. So I don't know. Again, it's just a theory, but it could happen. And by the way, if you want to submit any of your theories, and if it's a good theory, chances are you're going to be featured on a video. If you have any theories, make sure to join my Discord, because we actually have a dedicated channel just for Dream SMP theories, where we discuss them. There's other people that also like discussing them. So yeah, the Discord is in the description in case you want to join. Anyway, what will happen next? Well, as I said in this video many times, Jack will probably use the nukes. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know on who, but most likely he will use the nukes, and possibly to try kill Tommy again. And probably the hotel will also have a part in the future storyline, and Jack, being the villain that he is, he most likely will try to abuse the powers that he has because of Snowchester. So yeah, that was a pretty fun video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. A like goes a long way, so that would be cool. And also subscribe. Again, I'm trying to get to 1.5k, so that would be very much appreciated. With that being said, I hope I see you next video. See ya. Also click on the video on screen right now.